What's good, everybody, and welcome back to What's Good, the #1 Hollywood mental health podcast. And today we have a very special guest and a good friend of mine, Colin Ray. He's a TikTok creator with over 2 million followers. He has a great story. We'll get into that today. So without wasting any more time, Colin Ray, what's good?
What's good, Kojo, man? I thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it.
I'm happy you're here. And so I'll just get right into it. My first time coming across one of your videos, and it's wild because we're friends now, but my first time seeing one of your videos, it was a prison TikTok video, and I forget what the context was, but I kept seeing you on my For You page. I'm like, I gotta follow this guy. I followed you, we ended up becoming friends, and it took off from there, like a legitimate, actual friendship. And I consider you to be not only a good friend, but also a mental health advocate and somebody who's a role model for the youth, especially with your story. So for the person who doesn't know who you are, who is Colin Ray?
So basically, long story short, 18 years old, did not care about anything in the world. Mm-hmm. Went to prison, 5 robbery charges.
5. Was that all in one, or it was like a string?
Week. It was in 1 week.
Whoa, a week.
It was the week of Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to jail Halloween night.
Okay, wow.
2011, which is almost 10 years ago now. So
right.
That's good.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's like a little bit ago now. Mm-hmm. But once I went to prison, and I found out that I was getting, a serious amount of time, mm-hmm. I was like, I'm barely 18, about to go to prison for all this time. Like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Like, I might as well go ahead and just start working on myself now, and it doesn't happen overnight, obviously. Mm-hmm. The first 3 years of my sentence, I was still doing dumb shit in prison. Right. But then after that, it just gets to this point where you're just tired. You're just like, dude, I'm so over it. And like, you can't leave. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, what do you got to do? You got to do what you got to do for yourself,
And take me back to right before you committed the string of robberies. Like, what was going through, like what was the thought process? Did you think you could get away with it? Or did you know that it was going to come down, so you're like, I might as well go down and do what I can?
So that's a good question. So you ever seen the movie The Town? Ben Affleck?
I have not seen that.
They rob a bunch of businesses. They rob a bunch of banks and armored cars and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I had just watched that movie. So now the robbery scene is in my head.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I think I'm going to get away with it, but I'm from small town Pennsylvania.
Right.
Defense cops are stupid.
So you thought there was a chance you could get away with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I didn't get caught at the scene or anything like that. I got caught because people ran their mouths. There was no evidence. So
if you didn't get caught, would you have continued to do that, or would you have cut your losses right there?
No, I would have continued to do it. And then I would have ended up with more
time. Okay.
Or dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you did that, you get, and then did they give you the 7 years up front, or?
No, so I had, like I said, I had multiple charges in multiple counties.
Right.
So what ended up happening was I got a 6 to 12 year sentence in one county. Uh-huh. Then got another 6 to 12 year sentence in another county.
Wow.
But I already had a year in by the time I got sentenced on that other case. Mm-hmm. So it started a 6 to 12 year sentence brand new, but I had already been in prison for a year.
Got it.
So it ended up being 7 years.
Okay. So it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Right. If I would have went to trial, it would have. But there was no reason for me to go to trial because my charges had mandatory sentencing on it.
Right.
So if I went to trial and lost, I would have got 20 years.
Oh, wow. 20, not 12?
No. It would have been at least 20 years. So it's like if I can't get any less than 5 for this charge, 5 for this charge,
you might as well.
I might as well take the plea of them running together and making it 6 years. Like,
right.
Why would I want more time? Like,
and when you finally realize, okay, I'm gonna do like a considerable amount of time in prison, like how's that for you, your mother, your whole family?
So I knew before sentencing like how much time I was gonna have.
Right.
And I had to call my mom and like try to explain it to her because my lawyer came to see me. I was in the hole because I was fighting. I was in the county. I was 18. Like I didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? My lawyer comes to see me. He says, listen, this is the last plea they're going to offer you. Because I turned the first one down. The first one, they offered me 9 years. I told them no. Because that's what you do. You tell them no. Try to get them to come down a little bit further.
Right.
Hope they don't go up.
Right.
And then just cut your losses. Take your time. Mm-hmm. So they offered me 9. I said no. They came back with 6. Okay, yeah, I got to take it.
Right.
I have to.
Right.
Call my mom. Call my lawyer and tell him to tell my mom to come see me.
Right.
Because I'm in the hole. I can't use the phone. she comes to see me in the hole. I have to explain to her, yeah, so I'm about to go do 6 years. And this was before I was even charged with the other,
right? Wow.
With another crime. I was charged with 4 robberies in this county. I thought I had got away with the other one.
So the other
as
one,
soon as I got sentenced, here's more paperwork. You're charged with another case. And now they don't have to put it together because it's,
right.
Well, this case is already done. I already got 6 years for this. Now that's when it ended up being where I got extra time out of it.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And her reaction, she was
devastated.
Yeah.
She was devastated. But my mom's strong. She's like the strongest person I know.
Right.
She rocked with me the whole time.
Right.
You know, never turned her back on me.
And your sister, how old was she at that time?
4.
4. Did she understand what was going on?
Nah. She just knew that she didn't like when she'd have to leave the visit room.
Okay.
She'd just bawl every time.
Dang, that's tough. And your father's reaction to it?
He was pissed. But he was always pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't about nothing.
So you do these 7 years in prison, right? And after you come out, what's the plan? You've done 7 years in prison. You're a felon, right? So it's kind of hard to get a job, right?
So it depends. It's not. I never had an issue finding a job.
Okay.
Because I learned the things that I could use, the tools in the community to be able to get a job as a felon. A lot of people don't pay attention to that stuff.
Okay.
So I know I can go to the temp agency and get hired on immediately to
just about
start
to
work the
mention that.
next day.
Yeah.
Work hard for them, and then they might want to hire me on. Okay, he's a felon, but he worked hard for us for 3 months. You know,
Okay.
we'd like him as a worker. And I was like, okay, I'll just do that. But the goal was just to save as much money as possible to put myself into college.
Got it.
So that I could get a degree in social work to be able to stop at-risk youth from going down the same path
Right.
I went down.
Right.
Because like I put myself in this situation. Yeah, I wasn't like, you know, some people were like, oh, I'm just a product of my environment. No, I'm a product of my stupidity.
Okay.
And my just not knowing who I was then.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I had no sense of self back then. Like I didn't care about anybody else, let alone myself.
The whole accountability factor wasn't in there.
No, not back then. No.
Not back then.
Yeah.
But afterwards, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be more accountable, you know, and I'm gonna do things the way that they need to be done, and I'm a man. I have to take care of myself.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, what year did you were you released?
2019.
2019. What month?
February 28th.
So you remember that day, right?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll never
All
forget.
right, so take me through February 20th, 2019. You're coming out of prison, your whole life ahead of you. And for me, it's curious because I just finished a 3-month telepsych contract with a jail back in Virginia. And, you know, I would always tell the inmates as they were leaving, all right, you know, you've done this time. It's time for you to live the rest of your life. We know what you struggle with, whether it's opiate use disorder or whether it's hanging around the wrong people, or whether you're depressed or bipolar, whatever the case may be. But now it's time for you to, you know, empower yourself and live your best life. And I believe in you. So take me through like your last day in prison. Like, what was your what was your plan? Like, how are you feeling?
So my last day in prison, like I was excited. You know what I mean? Like the same way that I act here is the same way I acted there. I was just nice to people. I've always been like that. Like, yeah, I might not have cared and had, you know, much compassion when I was younger, but like I still would talk to people and like I'm very friendly. I mean, as anybody that's ever met me knows.
It's a good way to be.
And
yeah.
I like everybody, like I said, I play sports, you know, I gamble, everything. So like a lot of people like knew I was going home and everybody was just happy, like, yo, just stay out. Yo, we know you got it. Don't even worry about it. Like, don't stress it. Just go out there and focus on yourself. Like, don't try to make up for lost time because it's lost time. You're not making it up.
That's true.
And that was the biggest thing when I came home was I'm not going to rush nothing.
Right.
I'm not. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it the right way. Because when you start rushing shit, then you start getting ahead of yourself.
Right.
And the next thing you know, you're robbing a bank.
Right. You're more liable to mess up when you feel like you're in a hurry.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So that's February of 2019. And then this app called TikTok, which changed your life. In fact, you have a TikTok tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So talk to me about learning about TikTok and deciding to post on there and how it changed your life.
So when I came, I didn't know what TikTok was.
Right.
Vine came out and went away while I was in prison. Never saw Vine.
Oh,
ever.
true. That's true.
Musically was gone by the time I came home. That was I didn't know Instagram. Nobody used.
Right.
Snapchat. Nobody used. Like I wasn't around for all that.
Right.
We had Facebook. You remember Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah.
You know, I still got Facebook, but YouTube was not the way it is now.
Oh yeah, YouTube got.
You know what I mean?
Bigger, yeah.
YouTube you would go to for like music that was like, you know, unreleased and like
Right.
random like viral videos that were funny.
Right.
But it wasn't the way it is now. So when I came home, and mind you, TikTok's what, the biggest app in the world now. One of the biggest apps in the world now.
It might be the biggest.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's like 1 billion daily users, which is 1 out of every 7
I think
people.
it's the fastest growing social media network.
Which I believe.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago was nowhere near as popular as it is now.
Yeah.
Nowhere near.
That's true.
And which is a good thing, was that I got on TikTok in a wave when TikTok wasn't cool yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was starting to come around, but it wasn't like everybody has TikTok
Right.
now, you know? And my sister keeps talking about these TikToks. She's doing all these weird dances. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, making a TikTok, making a TikTok, making a TikTok. I'm like, man, let me download TikTok real quick. So I downloaded it. I start watching videos. I'm just dying because this is back when like it was funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. It was funny. It wasn't like all this dancing and arguing.
It was just hilarious.
It really was. So
Yeah.
I start watching it. I'm like, man, this shit is funny.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can get on this. I start following people, but like I'm not posting nothing.
Right.
You know, I don't know nothing about any of that. One day I'm driving to work. This dude I went to high school with messages me on Facebook. Yo, dude, how you been? Like, what? Like, bro, we're not cool. Like, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like the next day, 2 more people that I went to high school with that like made sure they told everybody around that they ain't fuck with me anymore when I went away. Why you hit me up now? You know what I mean?
And they hit you up because of
No, they just hit me up because they're, oh, hey,
out of
like
the
how
blue,
you been?
okay.
Yeah, but like it didn't matter at that point because when I needed you, you weren't around.
right.
I don't feel no type of way that you weren't there, but like don't think that we have to be cool now.
Right, right.
Yeah, there's no animosity,
Right.
but there's no love there either.
It's not genuine.
Right.
That's how you felt. Yeah.
It's cool. And I'm driving, so I just pull my phone out. Boom, start recording. Just hit the little plus, just start talking. Post a video. Gets 40 views. I'm like, oh, that's
4-0.
cool. Yeah, 4-0. Okay. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Had 2 followers, then one of them unfollowed me.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know what any of this really means. Like, whatever. Like,
Right.
not anything crazy. So then I was like, the next day I was sitting at work. I was like, oh, I should post that video of me surprising my mom. Because the day I came home, I surprised my mother.
Oh, that's a good moment too.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. It was like, I didn't care how the video did because it was the happiest moment of my life.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna put Diddy Dirty Money Coming Home on it, which is always a heartfelt song.
Yeah.
You know? And normally it's for people coming home from like war and stuff.
Right.
But I'm, you know, prison's somewhat like a war too. So
In a sense, yeah, it is.
I put it on there. Go to work. The next day I didn't check TikTok at all. Like wasn't even on the app. Was just like doing whatever.
Right.
Went to work. Was at lunch. Came out. Boom. I get on the app. I got 1,000 views. I'm like, oh, what? 250 likes. I'm like, dude, that's cool. 40 followers. I'm like, that's awesome.
Right.
Like, cool. Get back off the app. There's a bug.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get back off the app. Go out of town for a couple days. My sister texts me, all caps, 2 days later. Yo, what the fuck? Like, what? She sends me a screenshot of my video.
It's you, right?
Yeah. She made this video. She was the one that recorded it on her phone. Like, you can see on the screenshot, she doesn't even follow me at that point.
Right.
There's 55,000 likes on the video. So I'm like,
55,000 likes.
yeah. Oh, I can show you. Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
55,000 likes.
Yeah, so I'm like, bro, wait, what? I'm like, hold up. I always just type in yo.
And this is your first viral moment?
Yes.
And
This was
how long did it take after you started TikTok to get that first viral moment?
so I posted that first video August 12th. I posted
Oh, you remember it?
this one like a week later. Or no, it was I think August 22nd. My
Right.
sister sent me this August 25th, 2019. And that was
54.5 thousand
Yeah.
likes. So that's a screenshot from 2019.
yeah.
And
From
let me read that caption. It says 7 years in prison. Didn't tell mom I was coming home. Hashtag mom. Hashtag strong. Hashtag I think you meant persevere.
what I put? Perserve.
And never again. But it was a good moment. I've seen
Yeah.
that video before. So 54, almost 55,000
Yeah.
likes.
So now I'm hyped. So I get on the app. I got almost 8,000 followers.
Wow, 8,000 after a week.
No, this is only after like 3 days. Wow. Oh, well, yeah. Well, after a week, from the first video, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I'm like, dang, this is dope. So I posted, all the comments are, why'd you go to prison? Why'd you go to prison? Why'd you go to prison? Because I captioned it, did 7 years in prison. Mm-hmm. So I make a video. Hey, I'll tell y'all the story time. You know what I mean? No big deal. And pretty much it's funny. I just watched that video the other day, and it's so eerily similar to still how I talk to this day, where it's just like, hey, I appreciate everybody that supports me, and if you don't, go fuck yourself. Basically, still the same,
right?
Because that's how I am. And hit 10,000 followers 2 days after that, and then just gradually grew. I hit 20K. I remember specifically because I made a video and was like, I need 400 followers for 20K. 20K. I'll follow the next 400 back. And I did. I still follow them 400 people too. And that was October of 2019.
Wow.
And then I started posting. Yeah. And then that's what I mean. And then I started posting, if you get pulled over tips, this is what you should do instead of what you actually do.
Teaching it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't tell them this. Tell them this because, yes, it will save your ass in that situation. Those videos, that was my first, that was my biggest video at that time. It went up to 2.2 million views. I gained 10,000 followers off that. So then I started making, tips.
Yeah.
And I got to 100K the day after Christmas 2019. So I'm pumped.
Wow.
I'm pumped. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. 100,000? That's so many people. I'm so hyped. And then just kept, posting. I got up to 120K. And then my ex-girlfriend hacked my account because I had the same password for everything because I'm dumb.
Right.
And hacked my account, deleted all of my videos. Couldn't delete my account because the verification code came to my phone.
Right.
But I logged out of all other devices, but it didn't log her out until she closed out of the app.
Wow.
So all my videos are gone. So now I have 124,000 followers,
but no videos,
and 11,000 likes because she left 2 videos of my dead dad up that I tribute post for him.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm done on this. I'm not even I don't feel like it.
You'd say you took a break?
I was going to, but then one of my TikTok friends, Tony, he tells me, he's like, dude, you got 124.
Shout out to Tony.
Yeah, shout out my man, Anti-Steezy. But he tells me, no, you still got to post.
Yeah.
You still got to post. You got 124,000 people that want to watch you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Still got to post.
So I started posting again. I have a video go viral here and a video go viral there. But the more you post, the more there's just always traffic on your page. If you post 2 videos, when they're not on the For You page anymore, you're not getting notifications.
Right.
I'm getting notifications from a year ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It means that it's always still circulating. Yeah.
Right. When you have no content and you're trying to repost this and repost that, it just doesn't come out the same.
Right.
So I was it was a struggle. And I started to catch a little rhythm here and there with a couple videos. And then, boom, COVID hits.
Right. Game changer.
Thank you, COVID, because y'all gave me this career. Because COVID is the reason why everybody's on TikTok now. Because they quarantined and everybody was so bored.
Yeah, I got that boost as well.
So then I
got the boost as well.
I hit 200K June 1st. I'm pumped.
Okay.
I'm pumped. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I'm trying to hit 500K by the end of the year. Hit 500K the next month.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You had a crazy run.
It went quick after that. It went from 200K June 1st to $1 million September.
Wow.
Beginning of September.
Okay.
And it was crazy.
All right, and so we became friends in between all that.
Yeah, we became friends, and it was May, June, right around when I was right around 200K.
Right, May, June, and I saw you. Yeah, because we became friends right before you took off.
Yeah.
Right, and you just took off, and you went from 200 to over $1 million, and then you were verified. So let's pause right there for a second, because going from being, relatively nobody online to becoming a public figure, and now you have over 2 million followers and you're verified, but going from a relatively small following, 200,000 still a lot, but going from a sizable amount to a whole lot and being verified and becoming a public figure, what did that do to your mental health or your friendships and people around you? How did they see you? Because that's a pretty big shift.
You're right. It was weird because I had already been on this kick where I was only around a couple people.
Right.
The people that I was really cool with were it was 2 dudes. That was really the only people I'd be around. And they were rocking with me since before it was big. So like as they're around and watching it blow up, they're like, dang, like this is crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's taking over.
Right. Like, and it just kept going from there. Like, and then just even like somebody said something to me the other day. They're like, damn. They're like, yo, last summer, like you grew so fast, so quick. They're like, oh, too bad you didn't do that this summer. But if you look at the numbers, my summer last year was the same as my summer this year.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel that way.
You feel that way
Because it was just different.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I gained 400K since the end of March, or the end of May, I mean.
right.
Which is
of this year.
of this year.
Yeah.
400K. So that's like
That's a lot of followers.
2 months and a couple weeks.
That's 400,000 people who have decided to, all right, I'm going to make this guy's TikToks a part of my everyday life. I want to follow you. I want more from you. That's a lot of people.
Like that, and that's what I mean. Like, and I don't get it. Like, like, yeah, sometimes I'm interesting, sometimes I'm funny, but it's the personality. That's the thing. Like, that I know that's why people follow me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm fine with that.
And as you get bigger, how you deal with negative comments online?
Oh, I just post them and try to embarrass them.
You reply to them.
Yeah, I'll reply to them all the time.
Okay. Like with videos, I've seen you do that every now and then.
So like it depends on the comment. Like if it's like something that like really rubs me the wrong way, I'll delete it. I'll block them and then delete the comment, and then they never get to see. I probably have like 8,000 people blocked. Like I don't.
And have you ever had the thing? Because I've had it. The thing where you're on TikTok live and people spam it with hateful speech.
Yep.
Like how do you deal with that?
I just normally.
I'm sure
it depends.
The moderators help, right?
It depends. A lot of my moderators are people that used to be in my chat that aren't really in my chat anymore. I'll have 1 or 2 mods, and I don't really have as many as I used to.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like I'll just ignore it and like block them like low key without anybody noticing, and then I'll just like be like, oh yeah, be like, oh wait, what'd you say, bro? Oh, that's dope, yeah. But as I'm blocking somebody,
right?
Because they don't see when you block somebody, you see it come up on your screen, but they don't.
Oh, they don't?
No,
I didn't know that.
No.
So
you see it
if you block Fred the Frog 22.
Yeah, I don't think
it comes on the screen. For me, it'll say Fred the Frog 22 was blocked.
Yeah, for us, but I don't think it does for everybody else.
I did not know that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I've actually worked with TikTok and their safety team to try and figure out how we can make the app safer for other people. And you have a lot of followers, 2 million followers, and the verification check. So it was like that type of person is liable. And I believe in social media, like you're more prone to things like anxiety and depression when you have so many opinions like coming at you every single day. So to be able to filter some of those those comments out, I think can be very helpful.
Like, and I have comment filters on for certain stuff. You know what I mean? But like, it's never like anything directed at me. Really, like I'll take it. Like I don't really care. Like I'm mentally strong enough to take whatever you got to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I hate when people do it to people that I don't know if this 12-year-old is mentally strong enough to handle it.
Right.
I don't know that.
It's
scary. Like you don't want that kid to hurt himself because you're bullying him online. So I'll block you so you don't bully him. And now you don't get to see myself, but I don't care. I'll take that loss of a follower from a scumbag.
It's tough, especially with the younger generation. And I think a lot about that. And there was even talk at some point of Instagram having like a separate Instagram for kids.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Is it going to be helpful, or you think kids will just lie about their age?
I didn't know this, but I just saw on Instagram like 2 days ago. Did you know you can set it so that people under a certain age can't follow you?
Did not know that.
I just saw it the other day. So say you wanted, like, you know how people put like 18 plus, but then like anybody still follows them. Like,
right.
On Instagram, like if you have your age like that's like, yeah, they won't. But I don't know if it's new. I don't know, but I just saw it. I'll show you later.
Yeah. Because I think it's important with the generation coming up. Like, and fortunately for me, having over 1 million followers on social media, I don't know if I could have handled this following when I was 18.
Oh,
it's way different.
It's such a different environment.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like, here's the thing. You know as well as I do. You're 28, correct?
Right.
I'm 27, about to be 28 next month. When we were in school, if I ran my mouth to you, when we came to school Monday after the weekend,
it'd be a fight.
You was going to punch you in my face.
Right, it'd be a fight.
There's no repercussions. So now people do whatever they want. And I'm not saying, let's beat. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there has to be some sort of checks and balances.
Right.
What I said and what I've said and I'll stand by is I think you should need some sort of identification to sign up for TikTok, and it be your government name on it.
You think people should need
hell yeah.
identification?
Because if you put I signed up through Facebook. It was my profile picture and my regular name. I never thought about making a screen name or anything like that. It was just me. You know what I mean?
Right.
All these people are Joe Blow, Ligma over here. Like,
yeah.
No, like, okay, you want to run your mouth? That's cool. But, your name is such and such from this town? Cool.
Yeah,
now it's going to make you think before you do that.
Right. I don't know, maybe I could work with TikTok on that to verify people's identities. But like I'll see, because I've had people who comment and then you'll block them.
Then they'll make another account. But they always make the name something that it's them again. I don't get it.
If it's Blue 223, they'll come back with another account, Blue 2233. So
I know it's
I'm like,
you.
you want me to know that it's you and that you're a troll. And especially with my community, it's a mental health based community. Like we want this to be a safe space for everybody.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. People probably really do say some nasty stuff sometimes.
Every now and then, but like even with my following, like I always say that on my lives. I say, on my TikTok lives and also on Instagram, this is a place where Republicans and Democrats kiss. Literally, because we don't care about how you feel about certain things. Right. Mental health awareness is for everybody. So I want to make it a safe space. So I'm always interested in asking other creators how they keep their, community safe. And a lot of kids follow you too.
Right.
But I think you've done a really good job of handling that pressure.
It's like sometimes it gets a little like, you know what I mean? You feel like more responsible for the way other people feel.
Yeah.
And as a creator, like that's part of your job is to make people feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, only you are responsible for the way you feel, but you still feel like, man, I don't. And then, just like for instance, in the wintertime, they were this like 13, 14-year-old kid. He messaged me on Instagram. He's like, these kids are bullying me at my school for painting my nails. I painted my nails. Lost 10,000 followers in like 2 hours.
Who you?
Yeah.
You lost 10,000 followers because you painted your nails. Yep. You were trying to stand up for that kid.
Yeah, I was standing up for a kid that was getting bullied.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when that happens, that's not like getting canceled, but like, do you even care?
No, I'm bye. Just like for instance, when I posted a video saying that I would support my child if they were trans.
Right.
But the way that I did it was you had to watch the video and look at it to see that's what I was saying.
I remember that video.
It was a little bit of a trap.
Right.
But if you took the time, I always read captions on videos because the captions will tell you everything.
I watched the whole video. I watched the video the whole way through.
Right.
And you were supporting the trans community.
Right.
And by supporting them, you lost more followers. Or what did they do to your account?
Well, they started botting me.
Right.
The little view bots and all that. But yeah, I started people saying, "Oh, I lost respect I lost respect when I read the caption."
Right.
Okay, like, bye transphobes. Like, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
It's 2021. Like, I'm not rocking. Like, we're not rocking with bigotry out here.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's tough when people, and the thing is, people are not able to accept other people for how they are. It's a pretty simple concept if you ask me.
Yeah.
But for them to feel like, oh, I need everybody to think the same way I think or act the same way I act. And if my favorite influencer supports certain communities, I will no longer support them. Like, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's something that you have to think about having all these followers. So, and to shift into having 2 million followers, what are some of the best? I want to know what are some of the best parts of having a following, and what are some of the worst parts that you have about this? And before we talk about that, is it clout or fame?
See, that's a good question. Okay. So
I haven't figured
it depends on the person.
Right.
Okay. For instance, like, I have 2 million followers on TikTok.
Right.
But my videos are in your face.
Right.
I'm talking the entire time to you.
Right.
Okay. I'm tall. I have colored hair.
Right.
I have face piercings. I stick out a little more.
Right.
I don't look like the average creator.
Right. You're recognizable.
Exactly. So if you look at like the definition of somebody being famous, it's being widely known and recognized.
Right.
I get recognized every day.
Right.
And it's not an exaggeration. And like, it's funny because like I know TikTok creators that are bigger than me that doesn't happen to them as often. But it doesn't, like, it doesn't matter. It's just because of the way you're making your video.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different. If I'm showing a video and I'm playing ball, right?
Right.
But it's like a far shot.
Right.
Like I might not recognize them when I see them in public because like I'm watching you play ball. I'm not watching your face. When I'm talking to you, my videos are all me talking. Right. You're looking at me as I'm talking. It's like I'm talking to you.
Right. So you call that fame in a sense. All right. Okay. So we've established it is fame.
Yes.
What are the benefits to fame, and what are the downsides to fame?
It's nice because like it makes you feel cool.
Yeah.
It makes you feel cool. And like that, and like here's what people get misconstrued. Being famous doesn't make you a celebrity. I ain't no celebrity. Right. You know what I mean? That's completely different. But like there is fame involved, like we were saying.
Yeah.
And that's where people, because people think famous, people think, oh, you know, Tom Cruise. And that's where their mind goes. But in reality, like this next generation, like social media is gonna be their actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like it's dope. Like when people come up and like ask me like to take pictures and stuff like that, especially like at like little league games and stuff like that. They're like, yo, I watch your videos all the time. Like, and you can just see like it. You know what I mean? Matters. Or when somebody messages me on Instagram and says like, yo, I've really been struggling and your videos help me. Like I try to respond as much as I can. You know what I mean, to everybody. But like it gets overwhelming sometimes. But like the thing that like bothers me the most about it. Mm-hmm. Is feeling like you can't take a break if you really need to.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you take a break, you're like, oh no, now my views aren't where I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Oh no, now tomorrow ain't gonna be good. Next thing you know, you're feeling like you're sliding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's,
you
know, like it's nice because, well, one, I post a lot.
Right.
A lot. Like if you look, do you use Social Blade? Have you looked at like your numbers on Social Blade?
Yeah, my assistant uses Social Blade, so we keep up with trends and analytics.
Right. So like on Social Blade, like as far as like think about it, there's 1 billion users on TikTok.
Right.
I'm top 10,000 biggest account. Mm-hmm. Top 6,000 in likes. Top 1,000 in uploads.
Wow.
Only 878 people have uploaded more than I have on this account.
I didn't know that. Yep. I believe it though.
I pay attention to all that stuff because it helps me show what I'm doing to see if I'm still progressing the way I want to.
Right.
You know?
So you feel the need to post all the time. How do you deal with burnout? And a lot of times burnout looks just like depression.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with those two?
I mean, it depends. Normally those are days that you'll get a bunch of reposts. Honestly, I make my chain. I'll do that every morning. I'll make my countdown chain for my friend every morning.
Yeah.
And no matter what, will be the first video I do in the morning. Every morning. I never post anything before I post that.
Right.
And then like if just repost after repost. Sometimes you just are like.
So do you ever take breaks on the weekends or you post every single day?
Yeah. Well, like a lot of times it's easy for me to make content.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every once in a while, like I'll do a skit or something like that. But most of the time it's just answering questions or telling a story. And it's so easy. I'm a talker.
Right.
It's so easy for me to do it. As soon as if I made a prison video right now, I don't have any prison videos to make because I don't have any prison questions.
Right.
If I make a prison video right now, I can make prison videos for the next 2 weeks and gain another 100,000 followers. I know what works for me.
Right.
I know if I get online and I threaten somebody, it's going to go viral. Right. I understand. I would know if I get the jumpsuit on, it's going to get at least 100K views.
Right.
It's just how it is.
But in terms of taking the break, and this is one thing that, I've struggled with that too, like taking the break. So now I force myself on the weekends. I say, Kojo, you're going to take a break. And of course, like clout or fame, it comes with good parts.
Right.
Like I was at a breakfast spot here in LA. The lady walks up to me and she's like, oh, she recognized me from TikTok.
That's awesome.
And she said, oh, I have borderline personality disorder and your videos helped get me through the pandemic. Let me get you a drink. So that's the best part about it.
Right.
For me. The worst part, like my answers are almost eerily similar to yours. Like the pressure of having to post every day. I forced myself to stop posting on the weekends because I'm like, all right, this is getting out of hand. Like I felt like I had to post every single day. And plus leaving my job, leaving a full-time psychiatry job for this, I'm like, this is my job now. So I feel like I have to post. So now I got to the point where like I'll make skits in advance, and then on TikTok on the app, you can actually schedule out certain posts. So like you can plan it out
From your phone?
From the desktop.
From the computer. Okay.
I don't know how you can do it through your phone, but
yeah, I've seen that on the desktop too.
I planned it out to where next time, sometime soon, me and my whole team will take like maybe a week off and just like a mental reset. But like you're a brand. Colin Ray is a brand. You're inspirational to over 2 million people out here. A lot of kids who see your story and they're like, you know what, this guy is keeping me out of trouble because I'm inspired by him. So Colin Ray, the brand, has to go on, but then you have Colin Ray, the person, and I've realized that by myself. You have Dr. Kojo, right? Then you have this Kojo as a person. So I'm using certain skits. I'll post them in advance, and then I'll let it drop throughout the week sometimes,
right?
And then give myself a break because I don't know how long we can go posting every day. Do you ever think about that? Like how long you can go posting every single day?
Like I think about it all the time, and like some days there will be. And it seems like it always evens out for me for whatever reason. There'll be times where I'm like, I ain't really feeling it today. Like, I'm only going to post like a couple times. And then one of them will get 2-3 million views.
Right.
And it just evens it out for me posting. Because like it's just so easy for me to make the content though. Mm-hmm. That's why it's like, as long as my videos are like while you watch them, that's how long it also took me to make. Right. Like you've been around when I make content.
I've seen you make
like I'll pull my phone out in the middle of anywhere. I have no shame.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I was getting strip searched in prison, having to bend over butt naked in front of people for years. I can pull my phone out and make a TikTok in public.
I've seen that about you, and like I've watched that quality with you because I've never taken any formal acting classes. So when I do my skits, like I think back to, this is how Colin posts his videos. You literally take the phone, you're like, so guys, this is what we're gonna do today. Like literally, Colin will say, all right, so let me talk about the time that I was in prison and I was making this new meal. Like you'll tell a whole story. And you'll do it in less than 30 seconds. You don't overthink anything, and you post it real quick.
Yep.
And sometimes, like with burnout specifically, I think it's tricky because you can actually burn out from something that you love to do. Mm-hmm. So that's my only thing that I'm like, like the breaks, I'm always trying to figure out different ways to take a break. But it is hard.
Right.
Especially when you build such a massive following. It's very hard to take that break.
No, you're absolutely right. Like in the winter, like I said, I was going through a little bit of a struggle. But what I did instead of taking a break, I made a little bit more of, depression awareness videos and stuff like that. And even though like my videos, when I make videos like that, don't perform well, that's not what they want to see from me.
Right.
This is how it is. It is what it is. But it's still important for the people that did see it to see it.
Right. And that's the last thing I wanted to hit about. So social media and mental health. And you talk a little bit about depression. And the reason why I like that is because you're being upfront. Like we used to have this quote back in Georgia, back at the hospital. We'd say, you don't have to lie to kick it. Pretty much tell the truth.
Yeah, you ain't got a lot to kick it. We say that in PA too. We say that in prison. Yeah, that's something I've said for years.
I thought it was a Georgia slang.
I don't know. Maybe it originated down there, but yeah, we all the time. People come over, you start hearing, man, you ain't got a lot of kicking, homie. All the time.
I thought it was Southern slang, but yeah,
it probably is. We steal a lot of that.
It could be PA slang too, but we would say that, and we would force ourselves to be transparent,
right,
and be honest with one another, and say, all right, okay, I'm really struggling right now. I'm going through X, Y, and Z. Do you think it's important for social media content creators to be upfront about mental health struggles, and if so, why?
I think so because it just brings a realer aspect to people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's so many people that are going through things. You might never know what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But by saying, oh, yeah, I'm going through this or I'm going through that, they're like, dang, that's my favorite creator. And I feel the same way he does. Dang, like that in a way makes me feel better that I'm not in this by myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like that's important. Like people don't want to feel like they're alone.
Right. And I've even seen that. And also like the lives are a great way to connect with somebody.
Mm-hmm. I love live streaming.
Right. And that's where I get to be honest, open, and vulnerable.
Right.
And people say, why'd you quit your job? Why'd you walk away from so much money? And I'll say, hey, I was burnt out. And the one of my favorite stories, and we're going to end with this, one of my favorite stories is, me deciding to quit my job, the whole forensic psychiatry thing, and come to California. And I'll never forget, I'll tell my side of the story. So I'm sitting there. It was a Friday you called me. This man calls me on a Friday, and I'm sitting there. Like, I know when you call me, you're going to be in a good mood. So I was already pissed that you're going to be in a good mood. Because it's Friday, and I'm burnt out. I think I had to work like maybe 9, 10 days. I worked a whole lot of days in a row, right? Between my full-time job and moonlighting in another hospital. And Friday is payday. So I got paid on Friday. I'm like, ooh, I love to see my bank account go up and up and up. But I wasn't happy. I said, something has to change. Something has got to give. And I'd had LA on my mind for the longest. I'm like, I want to go to LA. Ever since I came to LA last year in February for the TikTok creator meetup that they flew us out to do, I'm like, you know what? I want to go to LA. I want to do social media for a living. I think I can do it. But I had all these self-limiting beliefs. Then you FaceTime call me and you're like, I'm coming to California. And I'm like, this guy has so much. I'm like, I don't know where he's getting the balls to do it. That's what I'm thinking in my head. He's so courageous. And that inspired me. I think I called you back the next day or a day or two. You did. I'm like, I'm moving to LA. Tell that story from your side. Like, it was wild.
I was excited. Like, you know, I was about to move out to LA with Carlos.
Right.
And like, I was just excited. So I called you.
Shout out to Los.
And, you know, me and you had talked a couple months ago about, you know, expanding our brands and everything like that. And you were telling me, you know, how to market myself better and everything like that.
Right.
So once it comes down to like, oh, okay, I'm actually doing this, I want to call you and tell you like, yo, listen, like I'm doing this. And like, you could just hear it in your voice. And I remember specifically you were ordering food.
Yeah, I was.
And you were waiting, you didn't get like a straw or something. And you could just hear it in your voice that you was not with it. Wow. Like they forgot their straws and be like, oh man, you forgot my straw. And you said it real respectful, but it was just with this tone, like bring my straw now. Cause I'm not dealing with this right now. Yeah. And, you were like, yeah, man, like I'm happy for you, and I was like, yo, you good? You're like, yo, I'm just burnt out. Yeah. I was like, oh man, like that's the worst. You know what I mean? That's the worst. Talk for a little bit. But a couple days later, like you said, yo, you know what? Yeah, I'm moving to LA. Okay, bet. Like, and I feel like it's working out.
It's working out. I'll never forget. I was sitting there at Food for Thought restaurant in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I was burnt out, and I was done with everything. I was like, all right, I'm just tired. You know, I don't even care about the money. I want to go to LA. I want to do this.
Right.
And it's not been a year later. You know, we've worked with Uber, you know, CDC, California Department of Public Health, and a lot of great things. And getting to meet so many great people here in LA has been a life-changing experience. So like, I thank you for that, for planting that seed in my mind. And, you know, like, and that's a good thing about you. Like, you're inspirational to people. Like, you bring the best out of different individuals. So that's one thing I've always admired about you.
I appreciate that. I really do. Like, my biggest thing is this, right? I'm working every day to be better than I was yesterday.
Right.
No matter what. And if I can push people to want to do better for themselves too, we can all do better.
Right.
The best person in the world can still do better. You can always improve. You know what I mean?
You definitely can.
And that's like the whole cool thing with my story is like, I didn't have to come from nothing. I took a path that made it so I had to do that.
Right.
I didn't have to do that, but my choices led me there. But I still came all the way back from it. You can come back from things.
And,
like, you don't have to count yourself out. Like I always say, don't let your past define your future. You don't have to. Don't use that as a crutch.
I love that.
You don't have to do it. You know what I mean? I could forever say, oh, well, I don't know how to get a job because I'm a felon. No, I'm going to go get a job. Doesn't mean it's a job I like.
Yeah.
But at least it's going to pay my bills.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People get picky. Oh, boy, they're not paying me enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you rather 19 cents in prison? You better go take that $10 an hour to start. That's what I was making when I came home. $10 an hour.
That's inspirational.
You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing.
And
like, you always move forward.
You parlay it into a big brand. Hey, that's awesome. So where can people find you, and what's next for Colin Ray?
So right now, it's obviously TikTok's my name, Colin Ray. YouTube is also now my name. I changed it from Friendly Felon. Instagram's Friendly Felon 43. Gonna start streaming on Twitch. Back to that more steadily, and then I'm gonna be back on a schedule on YouTube.
Okay.
So forget something. Is there any other social media stuff? No, I think that's it.
That's fantastic. So once again, y'all, that's Colin Ray. It was a pleasure having you come through. Not only a big creator, but also like a really good friend. So I appreciate you, my guy.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
All right.
They let me on my own when I was in the stick. I cut the heat on 350, run the city with my brother in the distance. I pass it, he never miss it. Hey, I just been in it for a minute. I'm loyal, I'm never switching. My brother, he got a sentence. Don't come to me about your feelings. I really ain't tryna listen. On the road to the riches, I promise I won't forget you.